It's the most wonderful time of the year. The trade winds are blowing, and I like, you don't like that?
No, I don't like you in my face.
Well, sorry, trade rumors are in my face right now. And Morgan, this is my favorite time. I love the rumors. The NBA draft's coming up, and now we're hearing trade rumors involving the Sacramento Kings.
As we should. But it's good that we're hearing trade rumors. It's fun for us, but it also means that people are getting busy behind the scenes.
Monty McNair is big game hunting, and I love it. You have to be in the mix for things. The first report today we saw from Shams reported that the Kings have had talks with the Wizards about Bradley Beal. What the hell? That's according to Shams and Sam Amick. It's believed Beal would consider Sacramento given his no trade clause, but right now there does not appear a clear pathway for the two sides. There's a lot to unpack here.
Sure.
Bradley Beal makes a lot of money, and that's why there's no real clear pathway at this point. Look at the amount of money he makes. Next year, when he's 30, he makes $46.7 million. Mm-hmm. The year after that, 50.2. When he's 32, he makes 53.6. And when he turns 33, he has a player option for $57.1 million to match salaries to get a deal done. I don't know how you would even do that.
I don't know how you do that. But I will say, considering that you're seeing so many older people in this league are making $60 million at 39 years old, this is somewhat a good contract if you're looking at it that way. But it's still going to be difficult as hell for so many teams in the league to have a roster that makes sense with this deal on it.
I think the one thing that gets lost in the Bradley Beal discussion, he's a good player. The problem for me, he misses a lot of games, and he's missed a lot of games lately. That's a concern. Like when he's on the floor and healthy, I'm about it. But when you couple the games missed with the amount of money he's getting paid, now he's 30, I'm going, okay, how do you take that step, especially with the amount you would have to give up to get someone to match the salary with the Washington Wizards? I think it's really complicated. As far as the fit, I mean, look, the guy can play off ball. He can create his own shot. We know he's a scorer, and he'd be around some good pieces in Fox and Sabonis. The problem is, what else would be around those guys?
Yeah, that's the issue. When you want to go, what do you call it? Big game hunting?
Yeah, big game hunting.
Yeah, when you want to do that, you're obviously going to break down a roster into sometimes practically nothing. And sometimes there's like just a solid contract or a player that makes sense. And you can do a few for a few. And it all works out for both teams. The fit just wasn't there for both these squads, just depending on the situation. And I think with this situation, when you look at the Sacramento Kings being tied to this as a trade rumor, I don't see a path.
I don't see a path either, but I also don't think it makes a ton of sense for Sacramento, just from the standpoint that even if there was some sort of pathway, if Beal was 26,
I don't feel that same way. I don't feel that same way.
And healthier, but he's not. I mean, he's 30, and this contract is massive. Plus, he misses a ton of games.
If it was 30 and cheaper, I would take that risk.
Sure,
right?
That figure is like, you can't ignore it, because with this new CBA, it complicates things, keeping teams together.
Yes, availability is the best availability. Wait, what is it?
Availability
is the best.
No.
Oh.
The best ability is availability.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. So don't love this for the Sacramento Kings. But I think if we were going to take any positives out of this, and also, just like you said, when we say this, I would love to have Bradley Beal on the Sacramento Kings as a shooting guard. Oh my God, that would be amazing. Not for this number, not for this contract. I don't see a path. It doesn't make much sense. But the good thing is, when we do see this tweet, is we see Monty McNair and his team behind the scenes working hard, trying to get things done.
The other thing is that someone who has a no trade clause is saying, I'm cool with going to Sacramento.
Another good thing. That's another good thing.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Now, it's also been reported that the Miami Heat are the current front runners to land Bradley Beal if he is traded. Beal's still a really, really good player, and I think people forget that because he's been
banged up
and playing on bad teams.
50 games last year. I mean, yeah, playing on bad teams with the Wizards. You had everything going on with him and John Wall during that whole time. It was just, there's always been a story there, right? And I think that's always taken away from what he's capable of doing. And now it's interesting to me too, Deuce, because I look at this Wizards squad and the direction that they probably
New
want
front
to go
office.
Yeah.
Porzingis has a player option. Kuzma's going to opt out, probably test free agency. What's that look like? There's been some reports about them too, maybe going in the direction of like an OKC-esque rebuild. So they could be in the full rebuild. That's not the only name that the Kings are apparently interested in. Our buddy Damian Barling from D-Lo KC on ESPN 1320. And don't sleep on this.
Don't sleep
on this.
Because
last year, he had the news of Malik Monk signing with the Kings. Well, today he dropped this little nugget. The Kings are aggressively pursuing Toronto's small forward O.G. Anunoby, according to his sources. Now, this one.
I love the word aggressively within this one because OG's 25 years old. I mean, you can talk about health again, but I think there's something different there when you look at a 25-year-old compared to a 30-year-old, right? When you're talking about health problems and what they're capable of doing, especially when you want to talk about fit and contract with OG. I hope there's a path for this one.
So OG makes $18.6 million. Then he's got a player option for $19.9. He is an extension eligible player at this point. But you talk about a guy that would be a perfect fit. A 6'7" guy who's strong, 7'2" wingspan, who made second team all defense this year, but could literally defend every position out there. The Kings don't have a player like that. And you think about them trying to go to the next level, getting someone in his prime that does what he does would be massive. Nick Nurse had this quote, his old coach. He's positionless defense. He's probably optimal at his position, a wing player, probably, but he does so good on two guards and bigs when he needs to as well. I love this idea.
Yeah.
I would love for the Kings to land him. I just have a tough time in my head going, okay, what does Toronto want? You know, they just hired a new coach. What direction are they trying to go? This is, again, a 25, 26-year-old guy in his prime that plays defense, can knock down the three. In fact, he was 40% on catch-and-shoot threes this year. After the All-Star break, Morgan averaged 17 points on 54% shooting, 44% from three-point land. If he's really available, I feel like there are going to be many teams aggressively pursuing him.
And that's it. I mean, this guy, you talk about his defense alone, he averaged a career high 1.9 steals per game, right? So he's active. His hands are everywhere. He can defend almost every position. He's long and he's shooting the ball. I mean, he's exactly what this modern day NBA is all about. And did I mention young already? I mean,
yeah.
I say 25.
He's in his prime.
It's exactly.
Prime.
They're your prime years in the NBA. And you look at the fit for the Sacramento Kings. Obviously, you can go fit around the entire NBA. But when I look at the Sacramento Kings roster and I look at a lot of these guys being in that 25 to 27 age range and kind of growing together, that chemistry, that vibe. Yeah, obviously it makes sense. We've been saying it makes sense about OG for a while now. So, there's a clear path that this could happen, hopefully.
Well, the path, too, I look at it and I go, what's the package that would entice Masai Ujiri?
That's it.
Who is
Scary.
such a great executive.
Yep.
Hey, Monty McNair, also reigning executive of the year.
Hello.
It's tough because you feel like a young player like Davion would have to be in the mix. Someone like Keegan, you go, I can't see them giving up Keegan Murray, but I also did not see them giving up Tyrese Halliburton in a trade when they did. Then you start going out, okay, is this year's pick involved? And then future years picks down the road involved. How do you match salaries? Maybe a Kevin Huerter and a larger deal. Again, to get something,
I know.
you have to give up something.
Yep.
And it may be something you're not totally comfortable with. But Sacramento's trying to take that next step. And when you look at the West outside Denver, there's an opening to make a push here. And I think Monty McNair and his staff, they want to do that.
And they see that. And they absolutely see that. I mean, you have ESPN talking about how the biggest threat for the Denver Nuggets next season in the Western Conference is already the Sacramento Kings. And they haven't even done shit yet, you know? So it's like you think about movement happening. You're exactly right. You have to give up good to get good. And that sucks too, because you look at this squad and the chemistry and why they really wanted to keep things together, especially around the trade deadline, right? They felt like things could just go forward in that direction with the pieces they had, and it did. And they got into the playoffs. They did something they haven't done for 16 seasons. So now it's time to try and get better, but without breaking what your core is and what your culture is and what your identity is as a team. So I trust that this front office will only add good people while adding talent as well.
Yeah. And it's rumor season. Who knows what's real, what's not? All I know is I love the chatter because you never know what side's leaking it. I don't think the Kings are leaking anything. Is it an agent? Is it Bradley Beal's people? Is it the Wizards? You just don't know, but I soak it all up. It's fun. It's juicy. I love it. Hey, appreciate you guys consuming our content. The biggest thing you could do is hit the thumbs up button and make sure you're subscribed. We drop NBA content every single day.